All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Asia Stupart, and I am the MEFA Pathway Program Coordinator. Thank you all so much for joining me on this webinar where we'll be talking about the internships feature within MEFA Pathway and how you can connect that to work-based learning. A few housekeeping items I want to mention before we dive right in. The first one is that this webinar is being recorded. So if you have to hop off midway through this webinar, that's totally fine. A link will be sent after this webinar where you'll be able to view this webinar at your own convenience. The other housekeeping item is regarding the chat feature. I can't see or hear you all, so if you have any questions along the way, please feel free to use the chat feature if you have a question or comment or feedback. I'll definitely try my best to check that out periodically throughout this webinar. And the last bit I want to mention is in regards to the MEFA Institute, which I'll briefly show. The MEFA Institute is a free professional development series for educators like yourself. You can take advantage of all of our free learnings, whether it's a webinar, a blog, any other additional content that we have, you can earn a PDP for. So make sure that you, after this webinar, and if you happen to take any webinar that is available in the MEFA Institute, you are looking for professional development points, this is a great place for you to navigate to. And I'll also show how you can get credits. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna just go to mefa.org, and then you're gonna hover to the About section. And then from there, you're going to select MEFA Institute. Then you're going to select school counselors. And then you're gonna scroll down a bit to view the evidence of learning form. Now, this is the form that you will want to fill out if you want to get credit for any webinar that you have attended, whether it's live or on demand. Those webinars qualify. So you'll just want to make sure that, again, if you are looking for PDPs for this webinar, or maybe you want to strengthen your practice, or maybe you need to renew your license, you can definitely get that here. And we are a certified PDP provider through DESE. So this is a great opportunity in case you're looking for that. One thing I'll mention about the form is just make sure that you put in your name, your email, as well as the lesson. So if you take this lesson or view this webinar, you can just search it. And then you can also just explain a little bit about what you learned in today's webinar if you'd like to get PDPs, or any other webinars that you have taken. And I'll be sure to, in case you're not sure how to find this form, I'll be sure to put this link in the chat. I'll do that right now, just so that everyone has that in case you need to earn some PDPs. All right, so I'm gonna go back to MEFA Pathway, and I'm gonna sign in. So if you are not familiar with MEFA Pathway, MEFA Pathway is a free college and career planning platform for students in grades 6 through 12 to help them plan for post-secondary success. We typically encourage students that do not have an account to sign up for one, and the registration process is pretty straightforward. Students will just provide their first name, last name, email, the school they go to, and then create a username and password and answer and provide security questions. Another great awesome feature of the MEFA Pathway is Clever integration. Now, I'm not sure if you all are familiar with Clever, but if you are, Clever is an integration that enables single sign-on functionality. What that means is that students have two ways that they can log in. They can either log in through the Login with Clever button, on mefapathway.org, or if you are a Clever school, you can have students log in through the Clever app gallery, where they would just select the MEFA Pathway chiclet. If you are on this line and you're curious about how your school can become a participating school with MEFA Pathway, definitely feel free to send us an email at info@mefapathway.org, and we'll definitely be happy to help you discuss what that can look like for your school. But since I already have an account, I'm just gonna log in with my username and password. All right, so we can see that I am logged in successfully. This is my test account for Zoe. She is an 11th grade student. We can see that this is Zoe's dashboard. We can see the last days since she's been active. We can also see on her dashboard just a variety of activities that she can complete directly from her dashboard. We have a variety of activities in mind for students with age level and grade level appropriate activities. But since today we'll be talking about how to connect internships and thinking about work-based learning, I'm gonna hover over to my navigation bar and select Discover Careers. Now, this really allows students to think about what could be a career path that is of interest to them. They can even think about different activities that they have completed and maybe connecting those interests and those skills to something a bit bigger, like a career of choice. Now, one thing I want to showcase before we get into the internships, because I really believe that it's all connected, is the career search. Now, with the career search within MEFA Pathway, students can search for a career by education level, by category, by their assessment, so whether they've taken an interest assessment or values assessment. They can use those results and find a career that relates to the results that they've received. They can also filter by incorporating their skills. So whether they are, have a skill such as communication, or maybe it's Adobe, whatever skills your students have, they can connect those skills and find careers that relate to them as well. Students can also explore careers by category. So let's say that you have a student that is interested in architecture and construction. When your students use the career search, they can click on a career category, and then it will show them that variety of careers that relate to that particular category. Students are encouraged to select a career, and they will be brought to view a career card of that particular career. All of the information pertaining to careers is sourced directly from Burning Glass Technologies, and it is updated on a routine basis, and it does also include real-time information as well. So let's say your student is interested in this particular career category. They have viewed a career card. They have looked at the programs of study. They have looked at the education level. They've looked at the wage information. Maybe they're also curious about similar job titles, right? Those are some things that students could also see within MEFA Pathway. Maybe your student has a career in mind, but they're not exactly sure what that career looks like. So we encourage students to view a video of the career that they've selected. And the video will showcase students and give them an idea of sort of day-to-day activities of what that particular career looks like. Students can also view careers that relate to this career. So we've selected architects, except landscape and naval, and more careers that relate to that would include these over here in blue to my right. So we have landscape, architects, environmental engineers, and so many other amazing careers that relate to this initial one. One other cool thing that students can do is save a career, and they can easily do that by selecting this green save button. And students can do that for any career that they see. So I'm gonna go back to my initial search just for a quick second. And as students are thinking about internships and work-based learning and really connecting the two together, one thing that they can do in MEFA Pathway is, as they are searching for careers, they can see internships that relate to their career category. And we'll get into that in a minute, but I just wanted to highlight that this find internships related to this category is a component of MEFA Pathway that we really believe students can tie the two together. So if they're looking for a career in engineering, then we have internships that relate to engineering, or maybe they're looking for a career in construction or communication, whatever career that they have in mind, we make sure to provide an internship that fits that career category. So just wanted to highlight this link right here. And this link will take students directly to the internships page that relates to this category. Before we go to the internships page, I really want to highlight the career list. Now, you're probably wondering why we're highlighting this career list if we're talking about internships. And I think this is important because the career list really provides students you're working with a place to think about the variety of careers that might be of interest to them. This will also give your students the opportunity to add more careers, remove careers, learn more about what might be required in terms of education level, and just really build out a list or repertoire of potential careers. And then one step further, this will also allow students to think about how they can create a plan of what they might want to study in college. So if a student has added a variety of careers to the list, maybe they're just in the process of figuring out what they like to do and what they might want to study. And this is a great way for students to really stay on track and keep those ideas in mind as they are formulating this list. They can also remove a career from the list by selecting this X button. They can mark a career as a favorite by selecting this heart icon, and it will turn blue. They can also add more careers directly from this page by selecting this green Add More Careers button. And it will take them back to the career search where we just were before, and this will allow students to continue that search. And if your students have a career in mind, they can also save a search within the career search. So maybe they're looking for a particular path and they want to save it, they can do that as well. All right, so now we're going to head over into the internships page. So the internships page is a page that is routinely updated by the MEFA Pathway team. And we go through great lengths to search a variety of inventories that offer internships, and we make sure to provide internships on this page. Now, we encourage students to definitely do their best to either select a category, or maybe they want to just view the featured internships. There are a variety of ways that students can take advantage of this page. So as mentioned before, this page is updated by the MEFA Pathway team. We encourage students to learn more about the internship by selecting the internship on mefapathway.org. And then when they select the internship, it will take them to the page where they are encouraged to apply for that particular internship. So it will provide them more information, what eligibility information, location, just other helpful information as well. Students can filter their search by category. So let's say if you have a student interested in education, these are internships that relate to education and training. Maybe you have a student that's interested in architecture and construction. Here would be an internship, for an example. So it's really cool that you can have students connect their search to their internship search as well, and really tie the two dots together, especially if you're thinking about, incorporating the work-based learning curriculum with your students. This will definitely allow them to do so. And one thing I recommend is if your students have completed an internship, one place that is a great option for them to highlight all of that great work would definitely be the create profile section. And if they go to profile details, they'll be able to add their internship information. I would recommend they can put it under employment, or maybe if there's another place that they think it would be a good idea to put it in, they're more than welcome to do that. The great thing about making sure that students update their profile is that this will serve as a backdrop for their portfolio and their resume. And I'm not sure what grades you all work with, but it's never too early to start thinking about building out a resume. So whether you have kids who have done a variety of internships, or maybe they've done externships or apprenticeships, or maybe they've worked some kind of job volunteering, this profile will allow students to have a place throughout the year to come back to and really build out. And having completed internships, we definitely recommend that they come back and they put that information on the resume, so that way they can showcase some of the experiences that they've learned in the classroom, but also connecting it to the experiences that they've learned outside of the classroom. And having those points on the resume is very, very helpful. So this is pretty much all of what I wanted to show this afternoon. If you all have any other questions, please let us know. We are happy to help in any way that we can. Again, my name is Asia Stupart. I am on the MEFA Pathway team. I'm so thrilled that you all joined with me today, and I hope that you all have a wonderful afternoon. And thank you so much again for joining.